Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
And I can't escape it. It's like deja vu. It's me, Zeus. It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming,
good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
This is how it's supposed to happen when you rich and famous. The algorithm turns to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin Franklin is my bestie. And if they use my ex, that mean they left me. They don't give replies and they text me.
Good morning.
I say it with my chest cause I mean it. Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Hey.
Call me the master with a new whip. I'ma take off in a spaceship.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into
Here we
Zeus
go.
live. I didn't get a drug test ticket. That shit was radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like deja vu.
Good morning, ladies and
It's like
gentlemen.
deja vu. It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu. It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be
All right,
back.
ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
deja vu when I'm out here flying first class.
Good morning,
It's
ladies
like
and gentlemen.
every
You
week
go
I
ahead
got
and kill the music. All right, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Apologize for the rocky start, but you know we're going to have a rocky finish, all right? You know exactly why we are here, all right? But before we get started, you know, let's take care of some housekeeping items. Listen, happy Monday to all of you. What is today? Monday, May 13th, all right? We're cruising through the month of May, and you know, it's definitely quite an interesting month, to be quite honest, wouldn't you say? All right? Now, many of you are very familiar with what we do over here on this side of town, all right? But before we get started, let me introduce myself. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name of Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. All right, the second H is because, well, you guessed it, I am humble. There's nobody more humble than me. If I get it wrong, I really will be the first to apologize. It just turns out I haven't been wrong lately, all right? Just because your feelings are hurt does not mean I owe you an apology, all right? And then we all know it. The last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because you guessed it. I am and will always remain the most handsome. All right. Now, we all familiar with what we do over here on this side of town, on this side of TikTok, all right? What we do is very, very special. We hold our friends on the right, especially their cult leader, Donald J. Trump, accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, as well as their crimes, all right? And believe you me, when it comes to dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds and crimes, let's just be quite honest, ladies and gentlemen, the Republican Party, especially MAGA, they seem to have hit the jackpot, right? They got a monopoly on it, all right? And so what we do is we provide an abundance of facts, data, and occasionally statistics to help make sure they understand that they are on the wrong side of history, all right? So listen up, you seditionists, treasonous traitors, all right? I know a lot of you don't believe me, and you think that somehow I've been getting it wrong, but I got to say this to you. If you're a Trump supporter, right, or you're somebody that if you're someone that maybe calls yourself an independent, but then you go in the voting booth and you vote for Donald Trump, if you're one of those people that are out there saying President Biden is doing a terrible job managing this country and the economy is in shambles, if you're one of those people, you might want to leave this live because this space is going to get very, very uncomfortable for you, as it should, all right? Because we're going to hit you with a lot of truth. If you're hungry, you're not going to be so hungry. If you were happy, you're not going to be so happy after you hear what we got to say, all right? But get this. I know you don't believe me, so guess what? You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country,
right.
If you're not happy
Good
here,
morning,
you
Rick.
can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Right? If you're not happy in the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen, do America a huge favor. Pack your bags and leave. Seriously, all right? And so today, ladies and gentlemen, you know what the elephant in the room is, right? Let's get started with today's show. All right, let's get into today's topics, if you don't mind. We all know what the elephant in the room is today. It's definitely Michael Cohen. All right, Michael Cohen today, ladies and gentlemen, is taking the stand, and he's about to put the another proverbial nail in the coffin. Donald Trump and his supporters know that Donald Trump is guilty. And they won't come to grips with that until a jury convicts him and the sentencing phase actually starts to take place. And so before we get started, I just want to remind a lot of you why Michael Cohen is critical to this trial. All right? Because we all know this trial involves allegations of the former president paying hush money to engage in election interference. Can you say election interference? Can you say schemes, MAGA? All right. And what Michael Cohen is going to be able to do is he is going to be able to provide a play-by-play instant replay. You ever watch these sports channels and, you know, one of the athletes, they do something pretty impressive and then they go and do a replay about it and then they, you know, look at the replay? Michael Cohen is going to be able to provide a play-by-play replay of Donald Trump's actions, all right, that involved him in this nasty catch and kill scheme that we all know robbed millions of Americans of a vote that pretty much could have placed Hillary Clinton in office, all right? Cohen's testimony includes it is crucial for several reasons, all right? And I got a couple of reasons of why his testimony is crucial. One, we all know it. He has insider knowledge. Michael Cohen was privy to the inner workings of Donald Trump's world. As a former president's confidant, he orchestrated the hush money payments to adult star Stormy Daniels during the 2016 presidential campaign. These payments were allegedly made to conceal an affair that could have had a significant impact on his political future, right? Second, the deals, the catch and kill deals. Cohen's role extended beyond the hush money payments. He engaged in these catch and kill schemes with the National Enquirer publisher, David Pecker, who we all heard testify, all right, or we know testified, right? Those deals involved purchasing and burying stories that could harm Trump's campaign while simultaneously targeting his rivals. Such actions demonstrated a pattern of behavior that went way beyond Cohen's role as his supposed attorney. 3, cell phone records and Trump's tweets. Prosecutors have already introduced Cohen's cell phone records into evidence. These records shed light on his communications during critical months. Additionally, the jurors were shown Trump's tweets from 2018, where he accused the media of pressuring Michael Cohen to flip on him. These tweets hint at the tension between Cohen and Trump and underscore Cohen's significance as a witness. And then we're going to talk about number 4, which I think is probably one of the most important things, Cohen's transformation, right? Michael Cohen has undergone a transformation. A once loyal defender of Donald Trump, all right? He now refers to Donald Trump as a con man. Isn't that interesting? Right? Cohen has already had the ultimate MAGA reward at that. Cohen has already had the ultimate MAGA reward, and now he's reporting back to everyone that the ultimate MAGA reward isn't as good as he thought it was. His willingness to testify against his former boss speaks volumes about the weight of his convictions and the gravity of the information he possesses. All right? And we all must know that Cohen is not without flaws. We all know he has a criminal record. He has been convicted of tax evasion and campaign finance violations. His credibility will undoubtedly be challenged by Donald Trump's legal team. But let us remember that the pursuit of justice requires us to consider all evidence, even when it comes from imperfect places. All right. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I'll say this. Michael Cohen's testimony will provide a unique window into the events that unfolded behind those closed doors in 2016. And it is our duty, all right, as citizens of this great country to make sure whatever happens, we continue to hold Donald Trump accountable because after all, he is running to be president of the United States, right? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we must do. Join me in giving Donald Trump what he deserves. Our first honorable round of boos and shame. Get him, Cohen. No, no, no.
You MAGA demon.
No. This is not about. We don't support Donald Trump over here. Anybody putting Trump 2024 in my chat, you might want to leave this live and go somewhere else, because this is not. We don't support Trump. We actually do the exact opposite. All right. We want to make sure Trump ends up in prison where he belongs. All right. You go take that stuff over there to Snuggles Live. You know who Snuggles is, right?
Struggle bubbles, struggle pancakes, struggle honey buns, struggle in the weight. Yeah. He's a struggler.
He's a struggler, all right? Yeah, Snuggles got his degree from Trump University, by the way, and a lot of you on TikTok, you got your degree from Snuggles. So what does that make you? That makes you a bunch of strugglers, too. All right, now, many people want to know what Michael Cohen is going to say when he gets on that stand. And, you know, I'll be watching very intently. But we do kind of have a preview, all right? This is Michael Cohen testifying before the House Oversight Committee. You remember that, right? This was in February of 2019. Let's see if we can listen to what Cohen may be saying when he gets on the stand today, right?
And that the committee be sensitive to the questions pertaining to ongoing investigations. I thank you for your help and for your understanding. I am here under oath to correct the record, to answer the committee's questions truthfully, and to offer the American people what I know about President Trump.
What do you know about him?
I recognize that some of you may doubt and attack me on my credibility. It is for this reason that I have incorporated into this opening statement documents that are irrefutable and demonstrate that the information you will hear is accurate and truthful. Never in a million years did I imagine, when I accepted a job in 2007 to work for Donald Trump,
right,
that he would one day run for the presidency, to launch a campaign on a platform of hate and intolerance, and actively win. I regret the day I said yes to Mr. Trump. I regret all the help and support I gave him along the way. I am ashamed of my own failings.
I understand.
And publicly accepted responsibility for them by pleading guilty in the Southern District of New York. I am ashamed of my weakness and my misplaced loyalty, of the things I did for Mr. Trump in an effort to protect and promote him. I am ashamed that I chose to take part in concealing Mr. Trump's illicit acts rather than listening to my own conscience. I am ashamed because...
So what Cohen is saying, for those of you, you Trump supporters, he's saying it like this. I was possessed by the MAGA demon, and it took over my life in ways I never thought I would be allowed to have a MAGA demon controlling me. I did everything for Donald Trump. I smelled his dirty diapers. I lied for him. I stole for him. I broke the commandments in the Bible for Donald Trump. I've even gone to prison. I'm on my way to jail for Donald Trump. Listen to my voice, MAGA. You don't want this hell that I'm going through. Get out of the cult. That's what Michael Cohen is saying. Listen up, MAGA.
Trump is. He is a racist. He is a con man, and he is a cheat.
Oh, let me play that again. Hold on, MAGA. Did you catch that?
And that the committee be sensitive to the questions pertaining to ongoing investigations.
Get back to what you just said.
Thank you for your help and for your understanding. I am here under oath to correct the record.
Hold on. Oh my goodness, we got to catch that again. Hold on, I want to make sure I caught that.
I'll recognize to give
and that the committee be sensitive to the question.
Oh, okay, come on.
Reason that I have incorporated into this opening statement.
Let's go.
Documents that are irrefutable and demonstrate that the information you will hear is accurate and truthful. Never in a million years did I imagine, when I accepted a job in 2007 to work for Donald Trump, that he would one day run for the presidency, to launch a campaign on a platform of hate and intolerance, and actively win. I regret the day I said yes to Mr. Trump. I regret all the help and support I gave him along the way. I am ashamed of my own failings and publicly accepted responsibility for them by pleading guilty in the Southern District of New York. I am ashamed of my weakness and my misplaced loyalty, of the things I did for Mr. Trump in an effort to protect and promote him. I am ashamed that I chose to take part in concealing Mr. Trump's illicit acts rather than listening to my own conscience. I am ashamed because I know what Mr. Trump is.
What is he?
He is a racist.
Oh.
He is a con man.
Oh.
And he is a cheat.
Wow, cheat. Racist, con man.
He was a presidential candidate who knew that Roger Stone was talking with Julian Assange about a WikiLeaks drop on Democratic National Committee emails. I will explain each in a few moments.
Sick stuff.
I am providing the committee today with several documents. And these include a copy of a check Mr. Trump wrote from his personal bank account after he became president to reimburse me for the hush money payments I made to cover up his affair with an adult film star and to prevent damage to his campaign. Copies of financial statements from 2011, 2012, and 2013 that he gave to such institutions such as Deutsche Bank. A copy of an article with Mr. Trump's handwriting on it that reported on the auction of a portrait of himself that he arranged for the bidder ahead of time and then reimbursed the bidder from the account of his non-profit charitable foundation with the picture now hanging in one of his country clubs. And copies of letters I wrote at Mr. Trump's direction that threatened his high school, colleges, and the college board not to release his grades or SAT scores.
What?
I hope my appearance here today, my guilty plea, and my work with law enforcement agencies are steps along a path of redemption that will restore faith in me and help this country understand our president better.
You know what? I've heard enough, ladies and gentlemen. This is hours and hours of Michael Cohen spilling the beans on Donald Trump. But I think he basically has confirmed what we all know about Donald Trump, right? He's a cheat, he's a con man, and he is a racist. Never, ever do I want to hear you Trump supporters bring up President Biden. Biden has never done anything like this. He was ripping his own charity off. He was actually threatening universities and schools if they actually revealed his grades, the ones that he said made him look like a genius. This is some sick stuff we found ourselves in as a nation, ladies and gentlemen. Never in American history did I think we would be at a place where we had such chaos going on in this country because of one man, Donald J. Trump, and his cult followers who are dragging this nation to the pits of hell every day. Ladies and gentlemen, number one, we're going to have to give Michael Cohen some encouragement as he goes in and testifies today. Let's give Michael Cohen some encouragement. But you know what we got to do. There's some Trump supporters right now out here in my comment section, and they don't understand that this is not a good thing what Michael Cohen is telling them. They're still in the cult, and they're willing to go deeper and deeper in it because you know what they say to themselves? Michael Cohen just wasn't strong enough. To those Trump supporters that are still in the cult, including Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Join me in giving them a round of boos and shame. Now, many of you have been following me for quite a while, right? And remember how we got here as a group, right? All of you who've been with me for a while. When we first started talking about holding Donald Trump accountable, his supporters, and even some of the people that, you know, were in the middle, and maybe even some Democrats, they said, you know what? It'll never happen, Zeus. They'll never indict a former president. There's no precedent for it. This is what they used to say. Oh, we'll never get a mug shot. This is what they used to say, right? They'll never actually take him to trial. This is all a publicity stunt. This is what they've said. But if you look at where we're at right now, it's crystal clear that no, Donald Trump is actually being held accountable. It is a two-tier justice system. But here's the thing. No matter which tier you're in, the way it looks to me, no matter what tier you're in, when you get in that courtroom, playtime is over, right? And so Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, as far as I'm concerned, he's definitely going to be found guilty. All right. Even without Cohen's testimony, we didn't even need Karen McDougal's testimony. We don't even need it anymore. The evidence is overwhelming. And you want to know how you know it's overwhelming, MAGA? Listen up. Come close. Tina, good morning, Tina. Democrats are a danger to all women and their rights. Tina, would you like to come in my box and explain that? Would you like to back that up, Tina? Because last I checked, it was Donald Trump who actually essayed E. Jean Carroll. And it was actually Donald Trump who appointed those conservative justices that makes it hard for women like you to have access to abortion health care, right? So, Tina, would you like to come up here and defend that little claim you made, or do you want to do us all a huge favor, Tina? Come close, Tina. I know you've been in a Snuggles Live, but you don't know how I get down when I'm in the kingdom. Tina, come real close. All right, listen to me. You need to sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast. You just might learn something, Tina. Oh, Tina, you don't believe in abortion. I guess what? You might not believe in a lot of things, right? Do you believe in the Pythagorean theorem, A squared plus B squared equals C squared? You believe in that, Tina? Listen to me, Tina. Just because you don't believe in something doesn't make it not true. Tina, I don't believe Trump's going to prison. I don't believe in all of this. But guess where he's at, Tina? He's sitting in a courtroom right now fighting for his life. I don't believe he cheated on his wife. Well, guess where he's at, Tina? We've seen the women that he's cheated on, and guess what, Tina? He's paid almost $500,000 to some women that he's claimed he's never ever had anything going on with. He's paying E. Jean Carroll millions of dollars, Tina. You don't believe it. You know what that tells me? That tells me there's a bigger issue going on with you, Tina. And that means what you see and how you process facts, data, and statistics, something's wrong. When it hits you, you go into a nasty, dark place. And if you want to have a healthy relationship with the people in your life, Tina, you got to start having these tough conversations. And you know what? This isn't just for Tina. This is for all you Trump supporters. If you want to have a better relationship with your family and friends, you got to get out of that fog. You got to start hiding from facts. And you got to start you got to do what Michael Jackson said, right? When you look in the mirror, you got to be willing to make that change. Woo! Okay. All right. Now, listen, that was some free game I just gave you. All right. Y'all better wake up. How much damage? This is what I want you Trump supporters to understand, all right? I did a video about it, but I said, you know what? We got to put it on record in the kingdom. Donald Trump is preparing himself and his supporters for a likely guilty verdict in the New York hush money cover-up case. This is what they're saying. Whether you believe it or not, whether you believe this or not, MAGA, it's coming. All right? Trump, he's, of course, pled not guilty to these 34 counts of falsifying business records. All right, we all know this, but get this, ladies and gentlemen. While he has talked a big game regarding beating these charges, his actions are showing something different. All right, quote, when former president and 2024 candidate Donald Trump claims that the judicial system wants to put him in jail, he's not just protesting the ongoing hush money trial. Oh, no. He's also bracing voters for the possibility of a guilty verdict. See, what I'm here to do, MAGA, especially for you, I know you want to put your head in the sand and hope it all goes away. Nope. Because you know what? Even though your head's in the sand, I know your ears can still hear. All right, so he's bracing his voters for the possibility of a guilty verdict, okay? At political rallies and on social media and to reporters gathered outside of the courthouse in New York, Trump attacks on the trial are designed in part to persuade voters to disregard a bad verdict. This is what he's doing. All right. And it goes on to say another angle is Donald Trump's repeated talks about the appeal. You know how he says, oh, he's going to win on appeal. Trump and his supporters have also predicted that a guilty verdict would be reversed on appeal, a step that would not be necessary if he is acquitted or if there is a hung jury. All right. Legal experts said Trump has little choice but to brace for a guilty verdict, given how it might affect his campaign against President Joe Biden. All right. While the indictments are thought by some to have helped Trump in primary polling, the same isn't expected of a guilty verdict. You hear this, MAGA? Nobody wants to vote for a criminal. Think about that. Nobody in their right mind will go vote and say, well, and when I say right mind, that excludes MAGA, because we all know they're not in their right mind. These folks are suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, right? His base will believe everything he says. This is what they're saying, all right? And the question is, will the independents, all right? And the answer to that question is no. Independents, when they go in there, they're going to say, am I going to vote for a guy that SA'd E. Jean Carroll? Am I going to vote for a guy that just got convicted, all right, and has been found guilty? Am I going to vote for a guy that has stolen the United States national secrets? Am I going to vote for a guy who him and his sons have taken money from foreign governments? Am I going to vote for that guy, or am I going to vote for Joe Biden? And the answer is crystal clear. Most likely they're going to vote for Joe Biden. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Join me in giving Donald Trump and his supporters, especially the ones in my comment section that keep pretending like this stuff that we're talking about is fake, all right, and hiding from it. Join me in giving them what they deserve. Another round of boos and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
Does anyone think I'm being too harsh on these Trump supporters? By a show of hands, if you think I'm being too harsh on MAGA, please raise your hand, because because I've always maintained this. If you don't want Zeus to cover any of this stuff with Donald Trump, all right, look at this. Look at everyone saying no. All right, well, everyone says no. All right, but here's the offer that I've made you Trump supporters. If you want me to stop, talking about your cult leader and actually pointing out all of the stuff that he's been doing that's causing irreversible harm to this country, we got to agree on some things, right, as a country. One, we all have to agree that the 2020 election wasn't rigged. Can we agree on that, MAGA? Italian, can we agree on that? Ray, can we agree that the 2020 election wasn't rigged? All right, I'm willing to put this all behind us. Oh, look at that. Look at them. They say no. Can we agree that Donald Trump was responsible for the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th, MAGA? You see, look, for those of you who aren't able to read the chats, right, because I put the video on YouTube. These people in my comment section, they don't want to agree that the election wasn't rigged. They don't want to agree that Donald Trump was responsible for the attack on the Capitol on January 6th. How about this, MAGA? Can we agree that President Joe Biden is innocent of all crimes? Wait a minute. I saw some Zeus hate out there, ladies and gentlemen. We got some Zeus hate out there. Okay, Lou, come on up here, Zeus. Come on up here, Lou. Come on up here, Lou. Talk to Zeus. You say, I am a POS. What does that mean, Lou? Come on up here and explain to Zeus why you believe that, Lou. Because I haven't lied to you, Lou. You know who you remind me of? You remind me of Lion Lou. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Lion Lou what he deserves. A round of boos and shame. Lou. Hey, Lou, you must not have heard. I don't allow Trump supporters to be victims around me. Absolutely not. I don't care if you had a flat tire on your way to work. Absolutely. You support Donald Trump? Yes. I don't care. You deserve that flat tire. All right. Now let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. We don't got much time. All right. Then I'm going to open up the boxes. You know exactly how I do. All right. Let's move it along. All right. My next topic, ladies and gentlemen, you know exactly what it is. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, let me see. Is this it? Is this it right here, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, okay. Let me see if this is it. Let's see. Is this it? Let's see. Where are we at, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh my God. You know what? We'll do it. We'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do it. We'll do it. How about this, ladies and gentlemen? How about this? His cult followers are nuts. Eruptions fact check confirmed Trump rally diaper story. How many of you have heard Donald Trump wears diapers? By a show of hands. Any of you heard the fact that he's worn diapers? Let's talk about that, all right? A recent viral story about Donald Trump supporters wearing diapers to rallies was confirmed by fact checker, prompting social media to explode. Earlier this month, photos of the purported Trump fans wearing real men wear diapers merchandise spread online, but many wrote the phenomenon off as staged or even as a result of AI. Look at these folks, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these folks right there. Look at these folks. You can't tell me this isn't a cult. We noticed that the photographs that circulated all came from dispatched Trump land. So we contacted the writers of the blog to ask for more details about the rallies. The writer replied that the photographs posted on April 11th have been taken at rallies in Greensboro, North Carolina, and in Detroit. He added that he took the photographs in April 24, posted himself, all right, in Schnecksville, Pennsylvania. He also shared an article from the Greensboro News Record published March 2nd, 2024 that included a photograph of a man identified who wore a red shirt that said, "Real men wear diapers." Look at these folks, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these folks. These are Trump supporters. Look at these ladies. Look at these ladies right here. Look at these ladies, ladies and gentlemen. And the article concludes, because this trend was documented in coverage by reputable news outlets, in addition to the reports by dispatched Trumpland, we have confirmed this to be true. Wow. For those of you who are just tuning in, I want you to understand what's happening. We have confirmation that Donald Trump wears diapers, number one, but it's gone to the next level because now his supporters, they don't even deny it anymore. They themselves start to put diapers on when they go to his rallies. Not just men, but the women too. How low will you go, MAGA? How low will you go? Seriously? You're going to put a diaper on for this guy? You're not going to, how are you going to call President Joe Biden out? But then at the same time, you walk around with diapers on. Y'all don't see how this looks? This is disturbing and disgusting, America. Trump supporters have lost it all. And it is time to once again help them understand why we cannot reward them by allowing Donald Trump to be president of this country again. Could you imagine what these supporters would do if Donald Trump got in the White House again? They would do anything. You'd see him in the White House licking his diaper, making nasty videos for him, all right? They'd put on a bird's nest just like him. They'd all be wearing the same crumpled blue suit. These are some of the sickest people, and they are in the cult. And like I said, and I'm going to continue to say it, Donald Trump is running the biggest circus in the United States history, all right? He is the biggest ringleader we've ever seen, and his supporters are nothing but an opening act, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving these so-called Christians, these so-called patriots, what they deserve, all right? They deserve another round of, you guessed it, boos and shame, because they are out here embarrassing themselves. They're embarrassing their community. They're embarrassing this country, all because of their loyalty and love to Donald deranged Trump. Get him out of here. This is some sick stuff.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
Okay, well, listen, wait a minute. We got this, I got somebody out here spam. Okay, Italian, go get your main account, Italian, and come up here and tell Zeus why you're so in love with Donald Trump. Is it his diaper? Is it his diaper, Italian? What do you love about Donald Trump? You love him more than his wife does, and that's sick. Tiger, Tiger, don't worry about Biden's approval numbers, all right? You worry about this verdict that Donald Trump is about to go through, all right? I got a question. Are there any Trump supporters that are willing to go to prison with Donald Trump after he's found guilty? Any of you Trump supporters willing to go to prison with him? Just raise your hand if you're willing to go to prison with Donald Trump. Raise your hand. No. It's going to happen. You must not have heard the top of the show, okay? Because you must not have heard the top of the show. It's going to happen. Okay, all right, let's go. Okay, I wanted to see. All right. Okay, come on up here, Ronnie. Ronnie, come on up here. I'm just curious, Ronnie. All right, I'm going to be nice to you, Ronnie. Come on up here, Ronnie. I want you to explain to me why you're willing to go to prison with this guy. Ronnie, come on up here. Okay, Ronnie doesn't want to come. How about you, Jackie? You want to come up here, Jack? Or Jackie White? Come on up here, Jackie. One of you two. Come on up here and explain to Big Zeus why you're willing to throw everything away for this guy. I would love to hear it and have it on record, all right? You know, I'm sending these Trump supporters an invite to come up here and profess their love for their cult leader, their ringmaster, and they refuse to come up here. Isn't that something? Wait a minute. Trump is actually really sweet. I had dinner with him. Oh, my goodness. All right, Tina, you want to come up here and explain that to Big Zeus, Tina? Come on up here. I would love to hear that, Tina. Okay, come on up here, Tina. Tell Zeus how you fell in love with Donald Trump. All right. I'm sending them these invites, right? And the reason I send them invites while I'm doing the show is because I want to catch them right there in the lie, right? See, as long as they're in the comment section and they're saying this ridiculous stuff, it goes untested, you know. But you've learned, if you've actually gone through some sort of formal training or some sort of education and some sort of discipline, you know, you got to put theories to test so that they become proofs. And so what we're learning out here is when you talk to these Trump supporters, they'll throw out a ridiculous theory. All right, come up here and explain to me how Donald Trump is a nice person because he took you out to dinner. Because you know where I was going to go with that, right, Tina? You know where I was going to go. And where was Melania while he was taking another woman out to dinner, Tina? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd hate to do it. I really hate to do it. But another Trump supporter has been caught in a lie, all right, talking about they had dinner with Donald Trump, only to have been proven lying. All right, they're lying. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these Trump supporters what they deserve. Another round of boos and shame. I really don't trust a single word. No. Who cares? I care. All right, you know, these people go, who cares if he had an affair with Stormy Daniels? Hello, I care. I absolutely care. And I want to know the details. I want to know every single detail that happened when he met Stormy Daniels that night. Because the one thing that, listen, I'm a man, all right? So, you know, I understand how sometimes, you know, we men get down and we operate. The one thing that was blowing my mind is why, okay, listen, it's okay. I understand someone lying about hooking up with somebody, you know, sneaking and geeking. I understand all that sneaking and geeking, all right? But what I couldn't quite understand is why he would pay that much money. If you're a celebrity, you shouldn't have to. If your game is A1, you shouldn't have to be paying this kind of money. Right? I couldn't understand it. So you're darn right. I wanted to know what happened in that bedroom with him and Stormy Daniels. All right. And after hearing what I've heard so far, I understand it makes perfect sense why Donald Trump did what he did. Because what happened in that room was so disturbing and disgusting and shameful that Donald Trump knew that if this information got out, my career in politics is over. Forget Melania. This is bigger than rap. This is what he said to himself. And he tried to move heaven and earth to hide this story. Oh, how much does she say she need? Oh, you know, I got a bank account for hush money. Yeah, Cohen, go do what you do and just, where's my Sharpie at? How much did she say she wanted? Let me go ahead and get rid of that problem. Now it all makes sense. Yeah. See, a lot of these Trump supporters, they don't think at that level, right? They just take everything Donald Trump says and says, you know what? If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, all right? Not Zeus. I have to this stuff actually has to make sense, MAGA, all right? And so now that we've reached this point in the show, Yeah, it was a 30-second, it was a 60-second nightmare. And, you know, from what I understand, 15 seconds was really her and Trump hanging out. The rest of it involved water and, you know, clothes coming on and off. So it was that sad. It was that sad. It's so sad, Melania doesn't even care about it. Melania probably was like, thank you, Stormy. Thank you, ladies, for doing the work that I refuse to do. I just flat out refuse to do it. You know, that's where Melania is at with this right now, to be quite honest, right? And I don't blame her. Most women would be upset that their husbands are cheating on them. But I now understand why Melania is just kind of saying, you know what? You stay on your side of the house, I'll stay on my side of the house, and we'll just live our own lives. All right, now let's move on to our last and final part of this morning's show. I didn't get to cover everything because, you know, some of this stuff actually, you know, became more pressing. All right, but you know what we got to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. You've guessed it. Arc or Acravis. Acravis. I have no clue. Acravis. What did I tell you? Don't come into my show writing checks that your behind can't cash. Don't let your mouth write a check your behind can't cash, MAGA, all right? I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. All right? Now let's wrap up this monologue before I open up those boxes, all right? MAGA, do me a huge favor. Zip it, all right? Don't spam my chat with another ridiculous outburst. Don't do it. Just listen to this special broadcast, all right? You just might learn something. I'm trying to go easy on you because I know Michael Cohen is in there slashing and dicing. And I gotta start making my content about what Michael Cohen is doing. So I'm not too worried about what y'all saying this morning, all right? So let's wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we got to talk about? We're going to talk about January 6th. How many of you out there still believe January 6th was a peaceful protest? Anybody out there still believe it was a peaceful protest? Raise your hand if you believe January 6th was a peaceful protest. Or if you believe it was a tourist visit gone awry. 382, what's going on? I'm not your darling, all right? You got to talk to your cult leader like that. I'm not your darling, all right? You come in here and you do exactly what everyone else does that comes from your ilk. You sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast. All right. So we still have a number of Americans out here. There were polls that came out that they said they believe the 2020 election was rigged and that they believe that January 6th was somehow a PSYOP operation that involved the FBI, BLM, Antifa dressing up as Trump supporters, engaging in heinous acts of violence. Right. And so what I like to do, what I love to do actually, is to remind America what exactly happened on January 6th. All right. So please bear with me. Many of us know what happened on January 6th based on some cold, hard facts. All right. And what are those facts, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I'll tell you. Donald Trump was going to lose the election in 2020, right? We all know it. How do we all know it? Because if you look at the information that was happening that time, there were a number of things happening. One, we were in the thick of a pandemic, right? We were in a nasty pandemic. The economy was tanking, all right? Yeah, gas prices were low because people weren't going anywhere, right? And Donald Trump knew the writing was on the wall. He knew he wasn't going to get reelected. So what did he do? What did he do? Remember this?
It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose.
It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose. That was the seed that he planted in the minds of his supporters, all right? That was the seed he planted in the mind of his supporters, right? And so election night came, and we all remember Donald Trump was supposed to come and concede to President Joe Biden, you know, because that's what Hillary did when she lost to Donald Trump, right? He was supposed to concede. But what did he do? Well, you guessed it. He came out and he did this. He said,
"We had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight. And then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory.
Right? He didn't concede. He poured a little water on that seed of doubt, or the big lie, as I like to call it. He poured a little water on it. And then he went one step further. He put some fertilizer on that seed of doubt.
76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
You didn't win the election. He just lied to you again. And just like that, his supporters, they went from being regular Trump supporters to becoming modern day Confederate soldiers for Donald Trump. And he assumed the role of the modern day Jefferson Davis. If you don't know anything about the Civil War, go look it up. So what did he do after he got his soldiers radicalized and ready for combat? Well, you all remember this, right? Do you remember the so-called perfect phone call?
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
Right. That was the perfect phone call. All right. And so what does Donald Trump do? For those of you who are just coming in, I'm explaining what happened on January 6th based off of the facts. What does Donald Trump do now that his soldiers are radicalized and he has a fake elector scheme in motion? Can you say scheme, MAGA? Well, you guessed it. He moves to the next phase of the attack. Attention! All Trump supporters. This is Donald Trump, right? Telling his supporters, I lost to Joe Biden and I'm very angry. I need you to sell everything that you have. Sell it, send the proceeds to me. And then I need you to meet me in Washington, D.C. at an event that I am hosting called Stop the Steal. Be there, will be, wow, big protest in D.C., okay? He invited these radicalized soldiers to meet with him at the United States Capitol, all right? And they knew exactly what they were doing. They were getting ready to place a dagger at the throat of our democracy, using violence and any other means necessary. And so what did his soldiers do after they received an offer they couldn't refuse? Well, you know what? We got more evidence, ladies and gentlemen. I got more evidence to help you all understand what these traitors did, all right? Let's see. What did these traitors do, ladies and gentlemen? Hold on. They decided to converge on the United States Capitol. But one big question is, how did they all get there? Let me tell you how you all got there. They all crammed in the back of these U-Hauls. Yeah. These are grown men packed in the back of a U-Haul like a bunch of sardines for Donald Trump. This is happening during the pandemic. You can't make this stuff up. All right. And you know what was so interesting about these so-called grown men, ladies and gentlemen? Take a look at them. Take a look at these MAGA demons. All right. All right. We got them on record. We got them on film. You know, as these young folks like to say, we got them in 4K. Look at them right there. Who is this? Great question. These are the Trump supporters that were going to the United States Capitol in the back of the U-Hauls. But what do you notice about them? This is the Patriot Front. This is the Boogaloo Boys. This is the Proud Boys. These are the Oath Keepers. And you know what bothers me the most about this picture? And I'll tell you it. You notice that they're wearing a mask, right? You see that they're wearing a mask? These are the same knuckleheads. You know, during the pandemic, you know, you go into the store and they would say, hey, you know, you got to wear a mask to come in here and buy, you know, to shop. These Trump supporters, they would go in the store with their mask. You know, you're supposed to cover your face like this. They would come in with a mask like this, right? And you would see all the snot coming out of their nose, right? And you go up to them and say, hey, Could you put the mask all the way over your face? Because, you know, we don't want to catch your nasty germs, MAGA. And you know what these folks would do? They would literally crash out in the store. Don't you dare make me wear that mask. I can't breathe. This is what they would say. I can't breathe if you make me wear that mask. All right, listen, I'm going to stay away from you and your germs. But please, if you can, put the mask on. Then what we find out is, when it came time to assault our Capitol on January 6th, yeah, no problem putting those masks on. All of a sudden, you could breathe through masks like you got some sort of super healing powers, MAGA. See, this is why I said, we got you in another lie, MAGA. Another lie. This is why I don't trust none of you Trump supporters, and this is why I never allow you to be victims around me, because I know you're all a bunch of liars and seditionists, treasonous traitors. All right? And so, what happens next, ladies and gentlemen? You guessed it. It is now time to report live from the United States Capitol on January 6th. All right? And we all know what happened. When they get to the Capitol on January 6th, they were given some updates and orders by one of their lieutenants. All right? You remember her? Marjorie Trader Green, who we all know. We all suspect may have been responsible for planting those bombs around the Capitol, right? They got an order from Lieutenant Marge.
Everything. If we flood the Capitol building, flood all the government buildings, go inside. These are public buildings. We own them. We own these buildings. Do you understand that? We own the buildings and we pay all the people that work in the building. Finished with our meetings here at the White House this afternoon. We had a great planning session for our January 6th objection. We aren't going to let this election be stolen by Joe Biden and the Democrats. President Trump won by a landslide. Call your House reps, call your senators from your states. We've got to make sure they're on board, and we already have a lot of people engaged. Okay, stay tuned. Tomorrow, we're prepared to object to the stolen electoral college votes. President Trump was reelected for 4 more years. Tomorrow is a very important day in America's history. We can't allow our integrity of our elections to be stolen. We must object to this vote. So let's get ready to fight.
Right. You see Marjorie, you know, doing all of the footwork in terms of making sure these traitors get prepared to engage in trial by combat, right? So what happens after they get their update from Marjorie, Lieutenant Marge? Well, there was an exchange that took place in the White House, all right? And you can go read this in the indictment, all right? Donald Trump goes over to his vice president at the time, Mike Pence. Pence, everything is in motion. I got the fake electors scheme. Can you say scheme, MAGA? And I got my troops at the United States Capitol ready to take up arms, all right? All we need you to do, Mike Pence, is what you and I talked about. Don't you dare certify those votes for Joe Biden. And what did Mike Pence do? Well, he did something we didn't think he could. He grew a little spine and he said, Mr. President, unfortunately, I will not be able to do what you asked me to do. Because in order for me to do that, that would require me to place you above the United States Constitution. A document that the founding fathers, the framers, fought and bled for. A document that Americans for centuries fought and bled for, sir. I just can't do it. So what did Donald Trump do? Well, he leaned into Mike Pence, his breath smelling like Coca-Cola and cheeseburgers and Big Macs, God knows what else. And he says, you know what your problem is, Pence? You're a little too honest. And he called him the nasty P word, the same P word that you heard in the Access Hollywood tape. You know what, Pence? I'll take care of this matter myself. And he stormed out of the room. Security! Take me to the ellipse to meet with my soldiers, is what he says. And you know what security said? They said, sir, these people, they are armed with tactical gear. They got demon repellent. I didn't even know you could make demon repellent. But they brought demon repellent, brass knuckles, and all kinds of nasty things, sir. It's not safe for you to go there. And you know what Trump said? He said, they're not bringing that stuff there to harm me. Take me to be with my troops. And you know what Secret Service did? They followed his orders. And so they took Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, to go meet up with his troops. And you want to know what he saw? When he got to the Capitol, ladies and gentlemen, he went there and he saw there was a sea of red, white, and blue. Patriots for Donald Trump. Does anyone see any FBI officials there? Anyone see BLM or Antifa there? All right, no, these are all Trump supporters. And when he saw this sea of red, white, and blue of patriots for Donald Trump, you know what he did? He decided to encourage them to engage in heinous acts of violence.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
Right. You'll never be able to take back your country with weakness. You have to show strength. That's what he told his supporters. Remember? And you remember this was at the Stop the Steal rally, remember?
So let's have trial by combat.
That's one of his friends, Rudy Giuliani, saying let's have trial by combat.
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen, let's say that again. Does this sound like he said go peacefully? Does this sound like it's being peaceful?
So let's have trial by combat.
Does that sound peaceful to you? Does this sound peaceful?
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
That doesn't sound peaceful to me. All right? And it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. It really does. As they began to have trial by combat and fight like hell, we all remember what happened when this image seared the minds of millions of Americans. This is a gallows, and they wanted to unalive the vice president at the time. That's right, you can hear them chanting, "Unalive Mike Pence, the vice president of the United States of America." And look very closely. Is that the FBI or is that MAGA? Is that the FBI or is that MAGA? Let's just be honest. Is this Fred, I'm not being deceitful, Fred. And anybody out there that's trying to make the claim that I'm being deceitful, when I open up these boxes in just a few minutes, please bring evidence and not just your opinion. Get a screenshot and tell me what I'm lying about. How dare you get out here and tell me I'm lying when I'm bringing all of this information to you? You're the worst of the worst. It didn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you remember Ashley Babbitt? How many of you remember Ashley Babbitt? Kyle, you remember Ashley Babbitt? Well, looks like we got Ashley Babbitt on record right before her end, right before she met her demise. Would you like to hear what Ashley Babbitt was saying before she entered the United States Capitol? Listen to what Ashley Babbitt was saying, ladies and gentlemen. All right?
District. Why don't you worry about your own goddamn district and the shit's going on there? You are a complete, I'm telling you right now, I'm putting all you on notice. Every single one of you politicians in California, Gavin Newsom, Jerry Brown, Maxine Waters, Duncan Hunter, what the hell is Kamala? Where is Kamala? Talking about ISIS like KKK. We got this MAGA camera. You know what? We have thousands of people on the other side of the border. Your people can't get to work. Our economy is going to take an absolute tank because you guys refuse to choose America over your stupid political party. Capital and a mob. There's an estimated over 3 million people here today. So despite what the media tells you, boots on the ground definitely say something different. There is a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue, and patriots and Trump.
You hear that? She said there's a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue patriots for Donald Trump. I saw someone in the comments say that she was right. Well, then that means there was no BLM or Antifa or the FBI there. None of those ghost buses. This means this is 110% Donald Trump and MAGA's fault. Yeah, I am right. And so what happened next, ladies and gentlemen? Well, you know, this is what happened to Ashley Babbitt. You remember this is the moment right before she lost her life. That was Ashley Babbitt right before she lost her life, MAGA. One of Donald Trump's foot soldiers lost her life in the battlefield for Donald Trump. And what did Donald Trump do after he found out one of his foot soldiers lost her life in the battlefield for him? What did he do?
Information that stands out to me is that Donald Trump was passed a note after one of the rioters was shot in the Capitol, and was made clear that this person had been shot, this woman had been shot in the chest. And the valet says that he offered no reaction upon learning that. He kept sitting in the chair watching the violence unfurl on TV.
A non-reaction at the death of Ashley Babbitt.
Wow. 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 Even after Ashley Babbitt lost her life in the battlefield for Donald Trump, he didn't have any kind words for her or her family. This is the sickest thing I've ever had to cover. And I've been covering a lot of things on this app. But this is one of the most disturbing and disgusting things I've ever ran across. Ashley Babbitt would not have been in Washington, D.C. had Donald Trump told the truth. Had that big lie about the election being rigged, had he never put that out there, none of you would have been there. And instead of holding your cult leader accountable, you want to go down these mysterious rabbit holes with all of these conspiracies that you still to this day cannot prove are true. You have no evidence to support none of the claims that you've been making. But we do have the evidence that Donald Trump helped plan this. You know, him and his cronies in the White House, Steve Bannon, all right? All of them, John Eastman, whoever you want, Rudy Giuliani. We got that. Why do you think he's been indicted? You have no evidence, and you sit here and make excuses for Donald Trump and try to portray yourselves as victims. You're not victims. You're traitors. You're not Christians. You're hypocrites. You're not good. You're evil. There's nothing good in the minds and hearts of you Trump supporters, and there won't be until you get rid of this nasty obsession you have with Donald J. Trump. For goodness sake. You shouldn't be walking around proudly wearing diapers for this guy. This is some sick stuff you've all found yourself in. It really is. And now that we've revisited the crime scene of January 6th, let's talk about another update, ladies and gentlemen. We got another update as it relates to one of Donald Trump's foot soldiers, all right? Here we go once again, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go once again. Another Trump supporter, ladies and gentlemen, has been brought to justice, all right? And this is a Las Vegas woman, all right, who has been arrested for her role at the United States Capitol on January 6th, all right? Let's give it a go, ladies and gentlemen, please. The FBI arrested a Las Vegas woman on Thursday after prosecutors said that she entered the United States Capitol illegally. Christine Borrello faces charges of entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, and 2 other charges, records say. Video surveillance shows Borrello entering the building through a second-floor window, prosecutors said. Then she stayed in the building for about half an hour. Look at this. Look at this. This is what happens when you support Donald Trump, MAGA. This is what I've been trying to tell you. In March, the FBI arrested Nolan Freeman, an actor who appeared on several TV shows for his alleged involvement. Last year, the FBI arrested Bradley Nelson of North Las Vegas, truck driver, for allegedly entering the building. Earlier this year, the FBI arrested Mario Gonzalez, 51. Gonzalez obtained a fire extinguisher and sprayed it at the direction of the police. Ronald Ronnie Sandlin, who was living in Las Vegas, began serving a 63-month sentence in December. Nathaniel Nate DeGrave, also of Las Vegas, started his sentence last summer. Brandon Dillard, the man deemed the Spider Nazi, or Schnazi, I gotta say it like that, who climbed on the exterior of the United States Capitol building and then went inside through a broken window, was sentenced to 4 months for his role. Jason Kenyon of Winnemucca was also serving up to 6 years in prison for his involvement. Kenton attacked officers and caused more than $40,000. All right. So Christine Borrello, she becomes the 8th resident of Nevada. All right. Charged so far for engaging in seditious, treasonous conduct on behalf of Donald J. Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Number one, let's give her a round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. Get her out of here. Get her out of
here. Silence, you MAGA demon.
And because she's been arrested and brought to justice, all right, this is the soldier. She wanted to be a soldier for Donald Trump, right? She wanted to be a soldier for him. Well, let's send her off. You guessed it. Let's send her off the old-fashioned way.
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You hear that, MAGA? You hear that? The same knucklehead. Your commander-in-chief. You know, the one that Michael Cohen said is a racist, a con man, all right? Evil. He set you all up by lying to you that the election was rigged. You all got radicalized and you went and met him in Washington, D.C. because you were under the impression that somehow you and him were going to align powers and take this country over, or, quote, take it back. And then after everything unfolds, you know, a lot of you, you know, one of your soldiers lost their life in the battlefield. Law enforcement was assaulted and harmed. And a lot of you are in prison right now or on your way to prison for him, right? While he's out golfing and campaigning. He tells you, you do not represent this country, those of you who engaged in those heinous acts of violence. This is the same guy that told you all to come there and help him fight. This is the same guy that says, we're going to go to the Capitol and I'll be right there with you. You don't see the setup? There was a setup, all right, but it wasn't the setup you think it is. The setup was, it was Donald Trump who set you up. Yeah, he set you up to lose your life and go to prison for him. And he's still doing it to this day. And this is why I get out here and do what I do. To help you understand that, you know what, if you end up going to prison or losing your life for Donald Trump, you have no excuse. You have no one else to blame but yourself, because you won't be able to say, no one told you the truth. Not just me, but a lot of my friends out here on this app or in other places, other spaces, they are regularly debunking all of the lies, all of the conspiracy theories on a regular basis. So there's no excuse for your blind allegiance to this guy, even in the midst of him being in a courtroom right now with a jury an impartial jury, right? You know, they got to go in there and they got to do their job. They got to be the jury of your peers. They got to be able to look at the evidence and come to a conclusion. Even in the midst of all this, there's nothing going off in your head that says, you know, okay, maybe it is political, but maybe it also is criminal. There's not a light bulb going off in your head, MAGA, that you don't think that to a certain degree he might be a criminal? You don't think there's any kind of ounce of truth in any of these indictments? You just think 100% is political. It blows my mind. It really does. Thank you, Annie, for the subscription. It really does blow my mind. All right? That you all listen to a clown. And I keep telling you this. Donald Trump is a clown. He does exactly what a clown does, right? And if you think about it, right, it makes perfect sense. A clown wakes up every day, all right, and puts on a wig, right? Donald Trump wakes up every day, puts on a bird's nest. A clown puts on makeup. Donald Trump does the same thing, puts on that orange makeup. I look so good. I'm about to go on a dinner date with one of these Trump supporters and pretend that I'm a really nice person, even though I'm sitting here dressed up like a clown, passing gas, wearing diaper. You know, a clown puts on that little jumpsuit with the thing around its waist. Donald Trump does the same thing. He puts on that same crumpled blue suit. He now switching up the color of the ties, but it's the same outfit. And he puts on that diaper and he just prances around. And you supporters of his, y'all buy into this hook, line, and sinker. This is disturbing and disgusting. Like I said, Donald Trump should go in the Guinness Book of World Records for running the biggest circus we've ever seen in our lifetime. His supporters are proof that this circus is not only a real circus, but it's worth millions of dollars because they will wake up every day sending this man money. What's he selling today? You know, gold shoes. Oh, yeah, I got to get those gold shoes. Oh, is he selling balloons today? Because I'll buy those balloons. Is he selling diapers? I'll buy those diapers. Oh, is he selling fake money like Trump bucks? Oh, I'll buy those Trump bucks. Is he selling steaks? I'll buy those steaks. He just opened a university. I'm going to enroll in it. He just opened a charity. I'm going to donate to it. And then you get on social media and you cry, Zeus, this economy is in shambles. We don't have any money. You don't deserve to have any money, MAGA, because you're mismanaging your finances. Every dollar you get, you turn around and you give it to this guy. He got so many different ways you can support him. You don't even realize it. So why should you get any extra money when we know exactly what you're going to do with it? You're going to send it to this guy. Absolutely not. I don't care if you can't put any gas in your car. I don't care if you can't pay your rent. You really weren't going to do that anyway. You're going to send it to this knucklehead. And you've been rightfully exposed to be what you are. Seditionists, treasonous traitors. All right. And hell will be your portion because, like I said, anybody that continues to support Donald Trump, you will get the ultimate MAGA reward. What is the ultimate MAGA reward? Jail. And if you don't get your soul right, hell. With a chapter 11 in between. All right. And I have no problem sending you Trump supporters to jail or hell every day. I don't have a problem. Absolutely not. At least I'm being honest about it. All right. Because you refuse to actually do the work it takes to get out of that cult. Then you know what? Hell will be your portion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my monologue. Time to open up these boxes. Time to open up these boxes and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the boxes to tell the truth and shame the devil. You know what? You know the rules. You get 3 minutes to come up here and speak your piece. All right. I want you to know I'm still business. All right. That's dirt on President Joe Biden. And I do mean this very, very sincerely. If you got dirt on President Joe Biden, please come into the box. All right. And I will give you 3 solid minutes to prove your point, prove your case. All right. Because I want to make sure that when I go and vote, I'm voting for the right candidate. And if Joe Biden is a criminal, that will definitely, and I promise you, it will change the ball game. All right. For Zeus. All right. So if you got that dirt on Joe Biden, please bring it up. But I must help you understand. Proof is bring a screenshot. All right. Whatever it is you're talking about. Right. Bring a screenshot of it so that we all can go do our own independent research and fact check what you're saying. I'm serious, all right? Because getting up here and asking me, well, Zeus, doesn't this look suspicious or doesn't that make sense? I don't play that game with you, because whatever you do on that level, we can do that with you on the level with Donald Trump. We can do that with Donald Trump at a level way higher than you, because we actually got evidence that Donald Trump was taking money from foreign governments. And your little excuse that he's a businessman goes out the window when you look at the fact that he's been committing decades of fraud. He's not a successful businessman, MAGA. He's not even a successful husband. And he's not even a successful politician. He's a con man. He's a racist. He's a criminal. And actually, he's a good criminal. All right. Let's bring up our first panelist. Octane, how are you doing, my friend? How are you doing?
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
Hey, I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How about Donald Trump talking about eating them glizzies?
I remember.
The glizzy gobbler, the commander-in-chief.
I mean, he was really happy about that. It was disturbing, wasn't it?
He was comparing. What was this business about comparing the undocumented with Hannibal Lecter?
It's something he's done before. I don't like it when he does it, but you know, it is what it is, right?
That's ridiculous. A fictional movie character, absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah. How about him supposedly bringing an SA criminal or P3DO up on stage with him at his last rally?
You know,
isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
Birds of a feather.
Yeah. You know, that was one of the most interesting things, right? I didn't realize that was the background of those two, you know, what I'm going to call them, butter and biscuits fellas. All right. I didn't know that was their background, but the fact that became something, I said, you know what? This is what happens when pandering goes wrong, right?
Yep. Birds of a feather. And that woman that just got arrested in Vegas, she got her ultimate MAGA reward.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why do you think, though, honestly, there's still Trump supporters out here that believe these cases are a witch hunt, right? Why do you think that despite the evidence, and the evidence is quite overwhelming, right? Why do you think they still want to go down that path? Why do you think they want to continue to go down that dark and dangerous path? All right. You've been talking to a lot of them, I suppose, right?
I've heard of a lot of them, and it just seems just like they're uneducated, they're unintelligent, they don't want to learn. See, my thing is they need to educate themselves. I mean, that's all they need to do, and they will realize that what they're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
By supporting him.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that woman from Las Vegas, just like Ashley Babbitt, she got her reward.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ashley Babbitt got it sooner than she did.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and we're trying our best, you know, as quiet as it is kept, right? The way that I do the content, you know, it could make, you know, it's actually designed to shock these people and make them come out of that fog, right? But even in doing so, it actually is making a lot of them go the opposite direction. They're doubling down on the lies.
It's unfortunate that they are.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand it. I mean, everything and what causes pause for me personally is when you think about all of the controversy surrounding that man. I mean, what president has had that much controversy surrounding him? Regardless if any of it's untrue, regardless of it is true, you think about it, you think, okay, this guy has done nothing. And even at his rally, I heard absolutely nothing from his rally of offering anything for the country, to do anything for our country.
He's going to bring the price of those glizzies down, those hot dogs and those hamburger prices, right?
Yeah, he's going to bring those glizzies down. He's going to gobble them down when he goes to prison.
Yeah. I mean, and this is kind of why I think it's ridiculous. He has no policy solutions to help Everyday Americans, not one.
Absolutely. And you think about it, you know, he's whining about not being able to campaign. Well, what all you do is talk about retribution and getting even with those that have crossed you.
Yeah.
When
Tell 'em.
everybody that you've surrounded yourself with has either been sent to jail or quit or resigned, or they've just been disappeared into shame, you know.
Exactly.
But thank you very much for having me up there, Guy.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
No problem. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Mr. Octane a round of applause.
You have a great Monday.
All righty then. Yeah. I know Michael Cohen, ladies and gentlemen. You too. All right, Mr. Octane. I know Michael Cohen is in there testifying and being as truthful and transparent as possible. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Miss Silk. Nice to see you. But what I want to make sure I'm getting my point across in terms of this case is this. To you Trump supporters, brace yourself. Donald Trump is going to be convicted. The evidence is overwhelming. The question is, what are you going to do once your cult leader is convicted and then sentenced to prison? What are you willing to do? Are you willing to get out of the cult after that? Is there any Trump supporter? Raise your hand. Are there any Trump supporters that are willing to go to prison for Donald Trump? Willing to go to prison with him? How about that? Because you can't go for him. But are any of you willing to go in prison with him? Raise your hand. And I'm being sincere. Any Trump supporters willing to go to prison with Donald Trump? All right, there you are right there. All right, come on up here, True. Come on up here. All right. And let's put the politics aside, True. I just want to tap into that emotion real quick, True. Could you come on up here, True? True, could you come on up here? I just sent you an invite. All right, you came out of your mouth. You came out of your mouth, True. Come on now. Don't get up here. Don't get up here and start acting real scared. You said you're willing to go to prison with Donald Trump. I wanna really get into the psychology behind that. All right, because that's uncharted territory for me. Fed up. No, fed up. I can't go into that. Okay, on the road. Would you be willing to come up here on the road and explain why you're willing to go to prison for Donald Trump on the road? That's an interesting name. I sent you an invite on the road. See, the fact of okay, on the road.
You're going to get feedback because I drive a truck. That's why I'm on the road.
All right, that's fine. I'm glad that you're out there and you're working and doing everything it takes to survive out here. But politics aside, could you help me understand why you're willing to go to prison for Donald Trump?
Easy, because he's never going to go, so I'm never going to have to go with him or for him.
Oh, see, that was a little bit of a trick thing you did to Zeus, but that's not kind of the direction I wanted to go. Honestly, though, let's just say he gets convicted and he gets sentenced on the road. Are you willing to go to prison?
I wouldn't go for.
Huh?
I wouldn't go to prison.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, on the road. You lied to Zeus on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta give on the road what he deserves. A round of booze and shame.
You MAGA demon.
On the road. No, just answer the question. Any Trump, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you are a Trump supporter, all right, and you're in a space you can talk. Raise your hand if you're willing to go to prison for Donald Trump. Anyone out there willing to go to prison for Donald Trump? Raise your hand. Listen, we're setting politics aside. I want to know what the heck is going on in your mind when you're willing to go to prison for Donald Trump. What has Donald Trump done? No, Carlos, not you. Heck no, anyone. Listen, for those of you who aren't able to read the comments, there's a bunch of people in my audience today spamming Trump 2024. They're spamming FJB. They're spamming Donald Trump's going to win. Thank you, Rick. So now I'm actually asking them to put a little meat on the bone. And I'm asking, are there any Trump supporters out there willing to go to prison for Donald Trump? Because any of them, any of you. Snowbird, are you willing? Okay. Snowbird, I sent you an invite. You sound like a Trump supporter. I'm putting politics aside real quickly. Oh, we got Jimmy. There we go. Jimmy, you can't go live for some strange reason. Snowbird, I sent you an invite. Would you be willing to go to prison for Donald Trump? Nobody is saying yes. Wow. You can't make this stuff up, folks. You really can't. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. We have a one of the MAGA demons in the box. Conservative Democrat. You? Politics aside, would you be willing to go to prison for Donald Trump?
If you and the rest of the liberals in this chat were the judge and jury, then yeah.
Why? I'm not the judge and the jury, but I'm imagining you believe Judge Merchan and the jurors are liberals.
I think they're corrupt.
You believe they're so because they are corrupt, you're willing to go to prison for Donald Trump?
I'm willing to stand up for what's right, yeah.
So in your mind, standing up for what's right involves going to prison for Donald Trump.
If that's what it calls for, yeah.
What about your family?
They'll be behind me.
Oh, your family, you're willing to put them through all of that for Donald Trump?
At some point, you got to stand up for what's right?
I mean, I do understand that feeling, but can I ask you a serious question? What has Donald Trump done to warrant, to earn that level of loyalty from a person like you? Because you seem to me like you wouldn't necessarily subscribe to any foolishness in your regular life, right? You seem like you wouldn't just do that for anybody, right? Like, for instance, would you be willing to go to prison for your wife?
Maybe, if the cause deserves me, if she deserves me to stand up for it, yeah.
But you see, you hesitated when I asked about your wife, but when it was about Donald Trump, you were, you just quickly dove in for it. You see how others might look at that, right?
I don't have a wife.
Okay, you have any kids?
Yes.
Would you be willing to go to prison for them?
Absolutely. I
Okay.
give my life for them.
Even if they did wrong things, you would go for your kids?
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
So you're the type of person that's just willing to go to prison for everybody?
No, not everybody.
What are some of the reasons you wouldn't? Like, would you go to prison for Joe Biden?
No, that's a dumb question, Zeus. Of course not.
Okay. So you do have things. So let's get back to the main question that I was going to ask you. What has Donald Trump done in your life that has allowed you to have so much loyalty to him? What has he done?
He started making America great until the witch hunts popped off. He made us all feel safe.
He made you feel safe. And what year? What year was that?
While he was president.
While he was president. So you're saying those 4 years when Donald Trump was president, he earned your loyalty?
Yeah.
Would you say you're more loyal to Trump than you are? Are you a Christian?
Well, actually, Zeus, I had to look back at it. And I voted for Biden in 2022. I realized I made a mistake, and
No. Okay.
I looked back at everything that happened, all the witch hunts, and figured out that was all fake. And that's why he's got my loyalty.
So because you feel like Biden let you down, you're saying Trump got your loyalty.
Biden did more than just let me down. He's destroying our country.
Now, you have any proof of that?
I mean, I got 20/20 vision.
Oh no, okay, so you don't have any proof of that. Okay, so this loyalty that you have for Donald Trump comes because of your anger towards President Biden.
I mean, yeah, I'm angry that he's a shitty president.
But keep it clean now. You got to keep it clean, okay? Because what I'm really trying to do is help America understand how his supporters end up throwing their lives away for him. And so far, what you're helping me to understand is there's a lot of anger that people have towards Joe Biden, right?
Yeah, you just said it.
And because of that anger, regardless of whether or not Donald Trump is guilty, Donald Trump has control over you.
No, he doesn't have any control over me.
No, he does. Because if you're willing to throw your life away for him, he does, bro. Is there anything Donald Trump can do to change that? You know, because, you know, Michael Cohen is in there testifying right now.
The only thing he can do is quit.
Quit what?
Quit running.
Oh, so if he quits running for president, you won't be loyal to him anymore.
Well, they wouldn't call for it then, right?
Wow. Well, listen, conservative, I'm gonna move it on, all right? Because what you've said, it's very disturbing. It really is, bro. And I'm going to pray that you get professional help because you really shouldn't be that loyal to a man you've never met.
How do you know I've never met him?
Have you?
No, but you assume. Just like you assume.
But you have it. So wait a second. So listen to what I'm trying to help you understand. You've never met this man and you're willing to throw your life away for him. Doesn't that seem a little ridiculous?
No, because I paid enough attention to know that he's for the American people.
What is he? Okay, I didn't want to. I was trying to keep politics out of it. All right, but give me the one thing Donald Trump did, in your opinion, that proved to you that he was pretty much worth all of the loyalty you had available to give a man. What was that one?
The great job he did as a president.
But he was impeached twice, and he didn't get reelected.
Did anything ever happen with those impeachments?
Well, if he was such a good president, why didn't he get reelected? So let's not use that. Let's get something a little more concrete.
You know why?
No. Can you point to one thing that we all can go look up? Because good is an abstract thing. What is that good thing that he did where you said, you know what? This loyalty that I got burning up in my heart, Donald, I'm going to give it to you.
Zeus, that he was America first.
How?
He had a great economy. He secured our borders. Everything was for us. His actions were all for us.
So you don't have really anything. Those are just talking points. All right, conservative.
Are those talking points?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty valid.
Because what happened when he left? Was the economy on the up and up, or was it going towards the toilet?
You're talking about when Joe took over?
No. When the pandemic came.
How's that his fault, Zeus?
He was the president.
What was he supposed to do?
But conservative. Let's be honest. I didn't conservative.
Shut down the world.
Conservative. I didn't want to get into the politics because I know that you and I will never agree. But what I won't allow you to do, like you and your friends do, is you try to basically say that last year of Trump's presidency doesn't count. No, it does count. He played 4 quarters and he lost in the 4th quarter. That's on him. He's not a great president. Well, if he was a great president, he would have gotten reelected.
Joe's been losing since he took over.
Okay, now listen, I'm going to move it on, conservative, all right? But thank you for explaining why you would throw your life away for Donald Trump, all right? Seriously, I appreciate it.
I'm not throwing my life away, champ. You're the one on your life.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving conservative D what he deserved, all right? A round of boos and shame. You know, those conversations, they're never easy to have with these Trump supporters because you never know what direction they're going to take you. And then you got to think to yourself, is this direction the direction I feel like, you know, conservative Democrat is a typical Trump supporter. I'm not even going to call him Democrat. He's a typical MAGA demon who's willing to throw his life away for Donald Trump. And when you ask him why, he can't give you a concrete answer. It's all emotional with these people, ladies and gentlemen. There's never a situation where they can actually turn around and say, this is why I support Donald Trump. All right. I see you, Boss Diva. Good morning. RC, good morning. How are you doing, my friend?
Good morning. So let me get this straight. Conservative Democrat thinks Trump did a great job in his first term, hopefully his only term as president, but then he voted for Biden in 2020. Make that make sense. How can you sit there and tell me you voted for Biden in 2020 after bragging about Trump during his only term? If you thought he did such a great job, why'd you vote against him, Conservative Democrat? Why'd you vote for the guy who did beat him? You guys can't even keep your own propaganda nonsense straight, really? Conservative Democrat. First of all, it's an oxymoron. If you voted for Biden, you're a Democrat because you support Democrat policies, not because you support the person per se.
Yeah.
You support what he stands for. You support the agenda. You don't go from supporting women's rights in 2016 and 2020 and in 2022, all of a sudden you stop supporting women's rights, and now you support the guy who bragged about abusing women and was found liable for doing so.
Yes.
I'm so tired of their nonsense. I wish they were actually smarter and a little more challenging.
Yeah.
Because then we could actually have real discussions with intelligent, intellectually honest people. But we can't have real discussions about how to move this country forward with people who can't even be honest about their own freaking propaganda. You can't even keep your own lies straight, sitting there telling me you voted for Biden, but then you praise Trump. Well, why did Trump have a good economy? Was it because of Trump? No, it was because of Obama and who? Biden. So Biden's been a part of 2 economic recoveries, in spite of Republicans who did worse than nothing. They tried to sabotage Obama's recovery. They've tried to sabotage Biden's. First, they claimed Obama's was too slow. It was the worst recession in nearly a century. Now we come off of the worst pandemic in a century, and they're like, well, the recovery was too fast, and it was just a recovery. He's just recovering jobs. He's just Why do we keep having to have recoveries after Republicans? Maybe we should cut out the middleman, stop letting them have any kind of control, because all they do is screw things up and we have to start over again. Or worse, they take us back to not only the 20th century, but the 19th century if you're in Arizona. I'm just so tired of the fact that they don't want to do anything to make this country better. All they want to do is fight the fights of the past that they've already lost.
Amen.
And they're so mad that they lost them that they don't know how to function going forward. They just want to keep having the same old culture wars. They don't want to actually focus on anything positive. The only reason they like Trump is because he gives them the permission slip to hate the same people. There's no other rationale for supporting Donald Trump. You can't tell me it's about policy, because how many of them have I given the chance to tell me what are his policies?
Many.
They just don't know anything. And when you don't realize that Trump is a con artist, you're the mark.
Tell them the truth. No lies detected, Jedi Joe. No lies.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I thank you. I knew you were going to come and help put it all into context. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Jedi Joe a round of applause. No lies detected. Are there any other Trump supporters out there willing to go to prison for Donald Trump? Please send Zeus a guest request. Or if you got dirt on Joe Biden. All right. Outside of that, I don't want to hear it. All right. Good morning, Miss Boss Diva. My partner in crime.
Hey, what's going on, Zeus? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. All right.
I guess that grifting is just a way of life for the Trumps. Because it seems like Miss Melania, she done came out with a $245 Mother's Day necklace.
Wow. No. This is sick stuff.
And guess what? You know it's not real gold, right? So it's gold plated. You know, everything's so fake and phony with this family.
Wow.
And so she's not, you know, too far from what Donald Trump is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
A con
she
man.
Just the same, she with the same song and dance that he with.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
You know, $12.99 at Raw stores, right, Coop?
Right. Right.
I mean, that really does look like $7.99 if you really want to, you know, ask my honest opinion.
I think Takesha should up her price on her products. When you see prices
you
like
see
this,
that, Takesha? Look at that.
Yeah, you got to up
that
your
ain't
price.
even good quality.
What you do with Takesha is way better than this.
Yeah, it's supposed to. It's called Her Love and Gratitude.
Nasty. I don't know whose love or gratitude she's selling. All right.
She's selling the grifty gratitude and the grifty love. You know, that's what she's selling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just wanted to put that out there. I mean, you know, for Mother's Day, this is her promo.
Oh, my God. And by the
course,
way, happy Mother's Day to you and all of you beautiful women out there. Happy Mother's Day. Belated Mother's Day.
Thank you, Zeus. I appreciate you sending me a message telling me Happy Mother's Day, too.
You're right.
And
You're right.
So, you know that Trump didn't wish her a Happy Mother's Day.
I did see that. Why do you think that is?
Because he was too busy trying to, you know, go to his rally, and all he care about is trying to win the presidency, so he don't have to see no jail cells. But too late, Trump. Too late, baby. You ain't gonna be able to make the mark on that one.
Right.
You will be convicted of something.
Bingo.
Okay.
Do
Something.
you think he's gonna? You don't?
I
Think
don't
he's
know
gonna
how
walk
many
away
of
with
these
34
felonies he gonna you know end up with being convicted with, but he's gonna get convicted of something.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think he was trying to hide it from the American people or no?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Ain't no question about that. And we all know that if he didn't do all that crimey crap, then, you know, he would not be president. And so, you know, Michael Cohen had played a major role in him winning the presidency. If it wasn't for him being a slime ball, you know what I mean? Because he's a slime ball. I don't care.
Yeah.
He's a slime ball. I don't care how many of y'all been on his panel, whatever. He is what he is. You know what I'm saying? And he's in a situation that he's in because he decided that Trump should be president. You know what I mean? And then when, you know, he was promised this and promised that, you know, in the White House or whatever, and didn't see nothing. Didn't see any of that come to fruition.
Yep.
So, yeah, you know, I mean, he's a slime ball on the stand right now. He's getting his retribution. That's pretty much what's happening.
Yeah.
You know? And so, you know, he'll be another fade in the rearview mirror very soon. So that's why he on TikTok trying to get his money up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he can't practice law. Nobody will hire him. You know, I mean, you got to do something, right? So,
but see, this is what I'm saying. He's gotten the ultimate MAGA reward, and he's reporting out, telling these other supporters out there it's not worth it.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, I wish he would have had that type of heart, you know, during all of this Stormy Daniels, you know, transaction.
Yeah.
You know, he should just really know right from wrong. And he didn't. He chose to be the fixer. You know, so he'll never have my respect. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
He'll never have my respect.
I get it. Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying, he really, if it wasn't for him, then we would have had Hillary. Period.
Well, you know, that's something to think about, Boss Diva, all right?
Absolutely. I mean, what other conclusion can you come up with?
Well,
I mean, why was he trying so hard to, you know, to keep that under wraps? I mean,
you're talking about
almost
Trump.
$500,000 when it was all said and done. $500,000 to Cohen. Think about that.
Everybody was eating on the scheme. Everybody was eating. This is crime. This is real crime that happened that impacted this nation. All right. I mean,
Absolutely it did.
to me, when you're desperate, you'll do anything, and that's a good example of why he did it. All right, now I got to move it on. All right,
I
Ms.
know,
Boss?
baby.
Right.
I was getting ready to dip on out, but
All right.
thank you very much for having me up, Zeus. You know, much love to you, bro, all
Much
the time.
love.
And
all right.
stay safe in these TikTok streets.
I will, and I shall, and you too, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to the beautiful Miss Boss Diva, No Lies Detective. These are all valid points. This is why we have to have these conversations, because I'm pretty sure a lot of Americans feel just like you, my good friend, Miss Boss Diva. All right. All right. Good morning to Keisha. How are you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom tending to the affairs. All right.
I think I'm going to make a necklace this week. I am. I'm going to have to make one because Hard Face has come out with hers. You know, her face. Lord, her face pulled tighter than a virgin on her wedding night.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But anyway, I want to talk about some things that CD said.
Okay. All right.
You know who CD is? Conservative.
Yeah.
You know, conservative.
CD, conservative D.
Conservative said that he would go to jail for dirty dude. You mean to tell me that you more loyal to Trump than your family? You would put your family through that just to be a Trumpist? Your wife would be out here having to stand on Give It Away Boulevard. Your children will be hungry. And you'll be in prison saying, I did it for Trump. Who does this kind of stuff?
Gotta have low self-esteem.
They don't want to blame him for the pandemic, but was not there 2 or 3 under President Obama? And he kept on moving along with what he had to do in the midst of those pandemics. What is so different about Scary Hair that he couldn't do the same thing? His ego was so big, it was bigger than the concern for us. He said America first. He kept America first. Which one of his businesses did he bring back over here, Zeus?
I can't think of one.
Not one. So how is he so America first? Then he turned around and said the border was secure. Did the people stop coming over?
Nope. Record crossings.
The border was what?
Open.
And it was not secure. Cut the crap. Quit making up stuff to make this man seem like he did something when he was in office. He did nothing but grifted us. He did nothing but took taxpayers' money, overcharged the Secret Service, and gave his friends tax cuts.
Wow.
They can't name a policy because they don't know one. I asked somebody last night in Ange Live, give me a policy that made Trump have a good economy a month or 2 after he got in office.
Right.
Guess what they couldn't do?
They give you a policy?
Give me a policy.
It's the same song and dance.
Policy today. I'll be old and gray waiting on that one policy that changed the economic growth in the country while Trump was in office. Give me one.
Give us one.
I just want one, Zeus. Get what they said. Oh, it's so many. Well, I'm asking for one. Where's the one?
This is embarrassing, right? We've been doing this for a while. They've never given us any policy.
Never.
They've never produced evidence of any of their claims.
Never.
All right? And then they somehow believe this is all a witch hunt. Have you seen any evidence of this being a witch hunt?
I have not seen any witches flying with brooms past the courthouse.
Nope.
Have you seen any witches in the courthouse?
Nope.
Have you seen anybody with flashlights running around at light looking for witches?
Nope.
Then nobody's hunting witches.
Now that's funny. You said nobody's hunting witches.
No,
yeah.
Nobody's hunting witches. What we're doing is trying to put a criminal in his place that has gotten away with stuff his entire life, that think he's untouchable, that have made these people think he's untouchable. And so they feel like they're with some Greek god who looks a hot mess.
Tell them, Takesha.
Soon, Zeus, they're going to come out with... And why is he selling those cards now? Now you can put them physically in your hand. For the low, low price of I've got you again.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Tell them.
But that's what I want, and I want to come up, and I'm going to need some policies. I'm going to need people to stop being so loyal to people that you don't owe him anything.
You don't.
You can support somebody without making everything about them false.
Exactly.
I'm embarrassed at the men that support Trump because they act like he's their man and they're his bend over bobbies. And they just so in love with him because they simp for him more than the women.
Yeah. This is some sick stuff they've gotten themselves into, right?
It is so sick, and I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah. Do you think the rest of the country, they like to say the rest of the world is laughing at us right now. Do you think the rest of the world is laughing at America, or are they laughing at Trump supporters?
They were laughing when they put that blimp of Trump in that diaper in that hair that they were flying across the world. That's when they were laughing at us. They haven't been laughing now. What they're doing is trying to figure out if he gets back in, how they can keep their secrets to themselves because they're never going to trust him with them again.
Nope. Isn't that something?
It is. But you have an awesome day, Zeus.
All right. And you too. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give the beautiful Takesha a round of applause. All right. Now let's move it along. Yeah. By the way, are there any Trump supporters that believe Joe Biden is a criminal? And if so, do you have the evidence? Please send Zeus a guest request. And then the next thing is, if you, all right, and I do mean this, if you're willing to go to prison for Donald Trump, please raise your hand. All right. So, anyone willing to go to prison for Donald Trump, please raise your hand. I want to talk to you. Nope, we're going to set politics aside. And I just want to really get into the understanding of a Trump supporter that's willing to do such things. All right. And those things include, obviously selling their soul to Donald Trump. How much did Donald Trump pay you? All right. I want to know. All right. You know what goes on in those jails and in those prisons, right? So when I ask that question, are you willing to go to prison for Donald Trump? What I'm really trying to make sure you understand is you're willing to basically subject yourself to how the prison, was it Rikers Island? You're willing to subject yourself to that kind of treatment. Because in your strange mind, that's doing the right thing. No, Ange, this is Conservative D said he's willing to go to prison for Donald Trump because it's the right thing to do. All right. And so those are the two things. Do you got dirt on Joe Biden? To those of you watching this broadcast, I just want you to know I haven't seen a single Trump supporter send me a guest request. All right. And actually come up here and either say, hey, I got the dirt on Biden, or explain why they're willing to go to prison for Donald Trump. So when you hear these people all across the country talking about they support Donald Trump, I want you to know they don't. They're just doing it to make it up. They're making it up as they go. No one is willing to come up here and to defend the indefensible. All right, let's bring up my good friend Shay. Good morning, Shay. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm great. How's everyone doing? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom, getting the message out there. What about you?
Good day. Had a wonderful Mother's Day and
happy belated Mother's Day. All right.
Thank you. Yeah, it was good. Right. So I'm sitting here watching all the the trial transcripts and stuff.
Yes.
Like that. Cohen saying, watching that, listen to your just very strange, demented conversation with the conservative Democrat there. That was so weird. Because does it make sense that if he voted for a conservative Democrat, how did you vote for Trump in 2016? You didn't vote for him in 2020, but yet you contend that you felt safe during his administration and that he did all these great things. Do you understand how that sounds and why that's weird?
He doesn't.
And why it doesn't make any damn sense?
Oh,
I'm just like, that doesn't make sense. If you felt safe, why you didn't vote for him in 2016? Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you did.
Didn't he say he voted for him in 2020?
No, he voted for Biden in 2020.
Biden in 2020.
So I guess you voted for Hillary in 2016?
He doesn't know whether he's going or coming.
It still doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's say you didn't vote for
him. He voted for Bernie in 2016. He voted for Biden in 2020, and he's going to vote for Trump in 2024. Is that where we're at? Is that what you're talking? Is that what you're going to do, conservative?
I'm not voting for Trump. Have you lost your head, dog dynamite? My Lord.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he's voting for Trump in 2024.
Okay, but you say you felt safe under his administration, so why didn't you vote for him in 2020? It doesn't make sense. And this feeling safe thing is so strange to me. How do you feel safe? Like, it's just, like, I don't feel less safe under the Biden administration than I did under Trump's administration. I'm quite aware that we're very safe here in the United States.
I'm confused when he said safe, because what part of the pandemic and the way Trump handled it,
Right.
did that make you feel safe, conservative D? Was it when he said to hit the body with the light and then inject yourself?
With bleach? Did you inject yourself with bleach? Be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird. I didn't pay attention till the years into his presidency. But yet you vote?
What part of the safety is he talking about? You know, most of the dangerous crimes that occur in the United States occurs because of, regular Americans, right? Not the migrants. It's regular Americans like you and I.
Yeah, remember all the freezer trucks? I mean, it was a horrible time that we went through, and then we couldn't decide, or do we follow Fauci's advice? Do we follow doctor's advice? Do we follow, it was such a crazy time, and Trump couldn't keep track of it either. He didn't know what to do, and then he just turned into, well, I'm running for president, so I have to keep my base happy, and that's where it just went downhill for him. 100%. He's not willing to make the hard call.
Big John, bring the proof, Big John. Don't get in here and start spouting misinformation.
Yeah, I do feel safe under Joe Biden's administration. Why wouldn't I? Look at, and we had another person on Angie's Live this morning saying that she thinks that none of this stuff would be going on in Israel and Ukraine if Trump was in office. And that's another very weird statement to me. Like,
really?
As a historian, I've never really understood, like, yeah, the president of the United States is the president of the United States regardless. And so if you are an ally to the United States, you know what the United States is going to do no matter who's in office. So it doesn't make sense that the world is, like, for example, was it FDR's fault that Hitler invaded Poland?
Oh.
Like, I always think about, like, how you blame the American president for wars happening outside our country. Like, you don't blame FDR. You're not blaming Eisenhower. You didn't blame Truman. You're not blaming JFK. Like, why are you blaming Biden? It doesn't make any sense. Like, the world is the world and the way it goes around. You sit there and go, you know what? I don't think I'm going to launch a missile because Big Daddy Trump is going to take me out. Like, are you kidding me with this? But I thought Trump was all about peace. Yeah. Didn't want to start any wars. Like, do y'all understand that what y'all think about him doesn't match what you say about him? Like, it's not, I'm trying to follow your frame of thinking half the time, but it's kind of interesting. But anyway, so Michael Cohen has basically laid out, as we all knew he would, the catch and kill schemes.
Bingo.
And so he has absolutely said, David Pecker, and he lined up the payment to Karen McDougal. The AMI actually paid it, and that Pecker was very, very angry about never being paid back.
Wow.
He also said the recording that he did and the conversation with him,
yeah.
Trump didn't know about it, but he also said the reason I recorded it was for David Pecker.
Oh.
I wanted David Pecker to hear Trump say, I will take care of it, or I will come back. Because David Pecker met with Cohen several times, and he was angry about the fact that he made this $150,000 payment to Karen McDougal and also covered to pay off the doorman that knew about this, illegitimate baby that Trump supposedly had.
Yeah.
So he's like, I've got all this money out of pocket. I may get hired to be the CEO of Time magazine. And so I can't keep covering this amount of money from the CEO of AMI. Like, I need to get paid back. And Trump said he would take care of it, quote unquote, and he would pay him back. So Cohen said, I recorded that for David Pecker because he was getting very angry and we needed David Pecker on our side. So supposedly David Pecker has a drawer in his office locked that has all these catch and kill schemes that he did for Trump.
Wow.
So Michael Cohen was very worried about that because if David Pecker left AMI to go to Time, what was going to happen with this drawer full of stuff, and Trump basically said, "Don't worry, we'll make sure we take over all that information." So it's very mafioso stuff, guys. Like, you're listening to this stuff, and it is wow.
So what you're saying is, it's not looking good for Donald Trump, and that he should be preparing for a guilty verdict.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We knew that it was, of course they're going to oh, you just hate the guy. You know, that's going to be their cross-examination, but is not going to, regardless, because Trump's not going to testify. He would just incriminate himself. So they are listening to what Michael Cohen has to say, and that he was very good about covering up these schemes for him.
James Bundy, hold on. You can't just say BS. Shay doesn't know what she's talking about. Shay knows what she's talking about. She can read and comprehend. Can you?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm reading the transcript. So what's going on?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you can go do it yourself, Mr. Bundy. All right, because you're not that brilliant. Seriously. All right, Shay. I gotta move.
All right. I know. All right. Love you guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to the beautiful Shay. No lies detected. All right. And I do want you to know this, Big John. Immigrants are significantly less likely to commit crimes than U.S.-born citizens, all right? And this is based on 150 years worth of research, all right? And I want to make sure you MAGA demons understand this, all right? I'm only going to read a little bit. Over the 150-year period, they found that immigrants' incarceration rates was only slightly lower than that of U.S.-born men. However, in the more recent time period, immigrants are 60% less likely to be incarcerated than U.S.-born citizens and 30% less likely relative to U.S.-born whites. So what does that mean, you MAGA demons? That means you want to know who the biggest threat to this country is? It's not the immigrants. You said you felt a little safer. Conservative D. Please explain how you felt safer under Donald Trump, because even if the border were closed, you were still surrounded by other U.S. citizens, especially white men. Make it make sense, CD. No, it is true. Look at all the crime going on in this country, and you can't tell me it isn't conservative men that are at the top of the food chain when it comes to crime. I mean, for Christ's sakes. You had a black guy in the White House, and you had a white guy, well, orange. And look at the crime rate in the White House. Once the orange guy got in, all right, the crime rate went through the roof. 88 felony charges? He's a walking indictment. Donald Trump is a walking indictment. He's an embarrassment to this nation. He's a stain on our democracy. I've never seen the crime rate go up like it did when Donald Trump was president. Hey, I need some dirt on my my rival Joe Biden. Could you give me some dirt? Withholding aid. I'm going to lead an insurrection right in the White House. Donald Trump shot the crime rate up in the White House at a level we've never seen. He's definitely the most dangerous. He did it way more than any other immigrant has in this country. I promise you. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I got to hurry up and get up out of here. I see you, Ange. All right. Good morning, Nutty. How are you doing?
Doing great. So can we, first of all, we know that when you're in school and you get a D in the class, that's still passing, right?
Correct.
Even though it's still horrible, it's still passing. So
Right.
can we stop calling him conservative D because that's passing?
Well,
So
wait a
can we start-
second. That's
can we
not the
start-
D I was referring to, though.
No.
You get what
I know.
mean.
I know. But here's my point where I'm going. Can we start calling him conservative F because he's a conservative fool? Because we all caught what he said. He said he voted for Joe Biden. And go ahead and give me the growl because I haven't gotten the growl in over a year. He a damn lie.
Oh, yeah, you getting the ground for that one, buddy.
He is a damn lie because he did not vote for Joe Biden. You cannot vote for Joe Biden and then tell me that Trump was a great president and he had a great presidency. So if he had a great presidency, conservative F, then why did you vote for Joe Biden? Why didn't you vote for the same man that you just said had a great presidency? And then to say that he voted for Bernie, you went from Bernie to Trump. You are. Ooh,
Go ahead and give it to him. Go ahead and do it.
You a damn lie.
You got
You
Nutty
did
up
not
here
vote for no
cursing.
Bernie Sanders. And furthermore, Zeus, you said, do you have a wife? He said, well, I don't have a wife. Well, I understand why you don't have a wife now. I understand why you don't have a wife. And to say that you would go to prison for your children, you a damn lie.
Oh!
I got 6 kids. I have 6 children, and I've told them all they will not get me in jail for them if they do something stupid and idiotic.
Yep.
I am not going to jail for my children. I will do everything. I will do everything I can for my children. Even if they're innocent, I'm not going to jail for my children. Because I have other children that I have to take care of. But if they're innocent, guess what? Even if they're guilty, I'm going to fight like hell to stand by my children. But I will not be spending one day behind bars for them.
Nope. But you heard this MAGA demon, conservative. You know, I call him conservative D because, you know, Donald Trump and the Stormy Daniels, he was in the missionary position. You know, he's a missionary god. So when I say conservative D, that's what I'm thinking of. But, you know, can we do conservative D or conservative F? Can we play it that way?
Well, he's a conservative fool because we know that he fails at everything he goes to do.
Okay.
He fails at everything he goes to do.
Failed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm channeling my inner Takesha today.
Okay, go for it. Go for it. Let it
out. Now he got lucky one time to have some woman to lay up with him to produce children.
Oh.
I feel sorry for these children because children are innocent. Children are innocent, and the fact that you have children and you have to think about you would go to jail for some narcissist over and you got children? Bruh, you ain't no daddy. Yeah, I'm calling your fatherhood into question.
Oh, what is he then? If he ain't a daddy,
you will go to jail for some narcissist and you got children? The devil is a lie.
Hey!
The devil is a lie. I dare you to go live. I will come to your live and get in your broadcast because I will light your ass up. I dare you to go live. Because when you talk about I have children, but yet you'll go to jail for Donald Trump, we got something to talk about now.
Yep.
We got something to talk about.
That part.
You are sick.
He willing to put Kool-Aid on his lips and walk around in high heels for Donald Trump in that jail cell.
You are sick, my guy. You are sick.
Nasty. Listen.
And none of us believe that crap about you voting for Bernie or you voting for Joe Biden. None of us believe that crap. So you keep saying it and maybe one day you'll actually believe it.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay that you didn't vote for Joe Biden. That's okay.
Yeah.
But don't sit here and try to fool us. You can't pull up the okie doke over us, man. I mean, you're not. No.
He wanted to wear that orange Kool-Aid in a diaper in a jail cell. Conservative D.
I'm not saying
conservative F. Nasty.
I'm not saying that Donald Trump is smart, but you were not even smarter than Donald Trump, bro. You ain't smarter than Donald Trump.
He don't know. He just told on himself, right, Nutty?
I mean, like RC got in. He got him before any of us could. But RC was correct. How in the world are you gonna say Trump was this great god in the White House, but yet you voted for Joe Biden? Make it make sense.
Yep. Make it make sense.
And then furthermore, I'm gonna land this plane right here. When we were in Angela's live this morning, and some old fragile white woman was in Angela's live, we were being nice to her, and her racism came out in the end. It came out in the end as to why she's not going to vote for Joe Biden. It's because y'all want Kamala to be, y'all want Kamala. It was all about the fact that it was a black woman next in line of succession. Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Wow.
I'm sick of you racist fools. I'm sick of you, and I will not be any nicer than anything anymore for you. I don't care if you're 500 years old. Not 500. I'm going to give it to you like you're giving it to us because you're full of crap. Thank you, Zeus. I'm out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Nutty Professor. All right, let's bring up our last and final panelist, and then I got to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Ange. How are you doing?
Morning.
I heard you had an amazing live. All right. Once again, keep up the great work. Crushing those blueberries. All right.
It sure was interesting. Yeah, what Nutty just said was really disgusting. That's exactly what happened. We put a lot of time into this woman coming with our receipts. And in the end, that's exactly what she said. And she even had this like sinister giggle with it. It was really gross. But I wasn't going to come up today, but I heard we were bashing conservative men. So you knew that I was going to come up. Anyway, so I want to clear something up, though, too. Just so everybody knows, and this is a fact, the biggest threat to our country right now is domestic terrorism, which January 6th was probably the biggest example of that. It is the biggest example of that.
Yeah.
So, and that was you conservatives that did that. And these T-shirts that are saying real men wear diapers, okay?
You like that?
Guys, the thing is, they should have been wearing them on January 6th so they wouldn't have pooped all over that.
Oh, I like how you did that.
Right? I mean, come on. You know what? And conservative Democrat, my God. Okay, clarification from you. Did he say he had 5 kids, or was that somebody else?
I think Nutty said he had 6. I don't know how many CD had. All right, but you know, you can't trust these guys.
CD has told me that he has 0 kids.
Oh,
that he said 0. He has 0 children. So I don't.
Wow, he did admit that he had kids. He did admit that he had kids.
He told me he had 0. I could go back into my lives and find it. Maybe.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think he got a little tripped up there quite a lot. And if there's no way you went from voting from Bernie Sanders to Trump, cut it out.
Yeah.
That's a lie. That's a lie. I was a Bernie supporter too, and then went on to vote for Hillary because can you imagine, Zeus? I was thinking about that if she had become president.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here.
We wouldn't be in this situation as a nation.
We wouldn't be in this mess. But
yeah.
I just wanted to come up and bash some conservative men. Oh, and they're really afraid of me. They're not coming into my lives lately. Or, well, they come in, but they won't get in the box with Ange. What are you afraid of?
Because we're holding them accountable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, now that they know we're listening to them and unpacking what they're saying, they know they look ridiculous out here.
They do. And I want to let them know that they need to stop worrying about pleasing Trump and worrying about pleasing your women, because your women are coming into my lives very angry and very bitter.
Oh.
And I got to deal with your women. So please, you know, you got to please them. Stop simping for Trump and simp for your wives.
Amen.
That's all I got. I'm going to let you get out of here. Thanks for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Ange. No lies detected. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, the plane has officially landed. Zeus has to get up out of here, all right? But what a great show, right? You all deserve a round of applause. If you survive this show, you deserve that, all right? But, you know, I got to give a special shout out to all the subscribers, to all the gifters, to the moderators and the panelists who had the courage and conviction to be able to get up in the box today and share the truth, all right? They deserve it. All right? And you know what we got to do? Our final round of booze and shame. Thank you, Rick. To the Zeus haters out there, not just my haters, these are your haters. These are our critics and our detractors. These are some of the lowest of low individuals, all right? They get on TikTok every day and spread misinformation and disinformation on behalf of Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin. They promote evil, hatred, bigotry, racism, misogyny, anything nasty. They promote it on behalf of Donald J. Trump. These are the worst of the worst, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give them our final round of booze and shame. And on that note, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do.
Most handsome in the kingdom.
And I really am the most handsome. You know that. That's right, Black Jade. Let's go.
how I move when I'm walking like Zeus.
Jack
This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus.
This is how I stare when I'm Donna. You're the champion too. Nathan's mom, Queen Flea, Jackie, Jedi Joe. Oh heaven, what did you say? Mr. Octave. Lady Giselle, hey, thank you. Jeffrey. What a great show. Angel. None of these Trump supporters want to get up here and defend their cult leader today. Thank you, Hammond. Audit today. Yes. Hey. Punk pie. Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. Thank you, Rick. Hey. Player hating on the God. Boy, Sneaky Pete, I see ya. All right. And you're rocking. Let's go. You know I'm so handsome. Thank you, Ange. Mr. Incognito, thank you. Bam! Charmaine gloves are off. That's Vegas girl. You know I love you, alright? I really do. It's A. Syrian Jones. I hope I said that right. Yeah, Tara. Thank you.
I'm a god, call me Zeus.
Hey, Reggie. Carmen. Thank you.
I gotta choose.
Grant. I didn't make the game a rule. And great live. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. Audit today. We'll be back tomorrow. Bama. Hey. Hey, look at that power. Angel. Oh, wait. Gavin, have you lost your mind? You love Zeus. That's why you follow me. You're welcome, Dan. You know I'm so handsome. That's why they call me Zeus. And that's why they call you what they call you. Marisol, thank you.
This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus.
I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Mrs. Silk. Thank you. Lady Rima. Let's go. Oh yes, I gotta start making my content.
I just want to find
cold as the days. Thank you. Rick. And see, that's the Rico. That's the Rico thing. All right, and you know what come after that? Reggie, where you at, Reggie? Let's hit him with the Jack Smith remix.
He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged.
Black Honey.
He's deranged.
Thank you for the subscription.
Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
He's deranged. Jack Smith.
Donald Trump is indicted and they take one charge and they turn it into 36 charges.
Oh yes.
And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump hater.
Yeah, and this is for you Trump supporters that keep thinking Jack Smith is going away. You know what? Let's listen to this Jack Smith remix.
Jack Smith is a Trump hater. His wife's a Trump hater. His family's a Trump hater. They all hate Trump. They hate him with a passion.
Yeah.
They do anything they can
to hurt Trump.
And he's a abuser.
Oh!
And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump hater. Jack Smith.
Get him, Jack!
Trump hater. His wife's a Trump hater. His family's a Trump hater. They all hate Trump. They hate him with a passion.
They'll do anything they can to get Trump. Goodbye, Donald Trump. All right.
And he's a big Trump hater.
They're openly either Trump. All right, I gotta get out of here.
Trump hater. All right. His family's a Trump hater. They all hate Trump. They hate him with a passion.
Right.
They'll do anything they can to hurt
That's
Trump.
right.
But he's a harasser and an abuser.
All right, now before I get out of here, let's drop the bomb. You know exactly what it is.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump.
And you ain't black. That's right. You ain't black. You ain't nothing but a modern day slave. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Take care and